Good morning, legacy builders, and welcome to another Tea Time Tuesday. Come on in. Let me know who's joining me this morning. Come on in. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tea Time Tuesday. And see you. Hey there, Sharon. I see you on Instagram. Good morning, everyone. Now, tea time. There you go. Let me see what you're drinking: tea, coffee, water, whatever your beverage of choice is. Let me know. Good morning, Tamika. You got some piping hot peppermint tea this morning. Oh, I love your variety. So I always look forward, as a fellow tea lover, what you have going on there. I love it. Come on in. Welcome to this Tea Time Tuesday. My name is Marcella Mullen Williams. I, along with Mark Mullen, are the co-founders of Legacy Builder Group, where we help families achieve financial certainty and create impactful multi-generational wealth. Thank you again for joining me. Sharon, I see you have water and egg whites. I like it. It sounds like a great combination. I have some water right here as well, along with my tea. I'm gonna go ahead and get my sip. And as I have my almond green tea matcha coming in. Daniel, Nancy, great to see you. Gabrielle as well. All right, let's get into it. So I will not be here long. I'm going to try to get these segments just a little shorter so we can get a quick fix and get you on your way. But today, and going into this week, I want you to think about the words that you use when you talk about money. I want you to think about the words that you use around your current finances or the financial legacy you want to leave. What is it reflecting about your financial well being? What is the energy behind your money messaging? That's what I want you to process today. That's what I want you to process going into this week. And come on in, everyone. You just in time. Nancy, do you see this? So I did see the eclipse yesterday. Well, in my area, I can't really see it, but I saw the effects of it and caught a couple great pictures. Good morning, Sheila. Good morning, everyone. So, yes, the conversation around money we are having is about reflecting on the words that are coming out of your mouth. And this conversation was inspired by a show that my husband and I have been watching called Shogun. Yes, it is a show that I've been just a little bit obsessed with lately. It's a really good show. Let me know if anybody else is is watching it or has seen any version of it. And just to provide some context, it's loosely based off of a true story of an English sailor who finds himself shipwrecked in Japan in around the 1600s. So there was a novel, and there was a show, I think, in the 80s, and now 2024. This is the new remake. So this English sailor is shipwrecked in Japan and completely unfamiliar with this culture. He ends up in the middle of a political war among some powerful Japanese rulers. And then eventually, this English sailor becomes the guest of one of the rulers, and the ruler provides them with a Japanese translator, along with a house and servants. So now this is where, and what I'm going to share now is what led to this conversation, because it was a scene or a series of scenes in a particular episode. And yes, Sharon says it is the 80s. Yep, 80s and a movie. So my husband and I were looking at a couple episodes ago. And in this particular episode, the Englishman was really trying to do his best to give instructions to a servant without his interpreter being around. So he was insisting that no one touched this exposed piece of meat or animal that he was saving for a meal or whatever he was saving it for. But he left it out and he told the servants, do not touch it. And they were kind of struggling to understand him. So, in an effort to communicate this instruction, he just kind of pretty much says, touch it and you die. And the little broken Japanese that he didn't know, it was saying, touch it and you die. So, in this 17th century Japanese culture, words have strong meaning, and they chose their words wisely. I want you to pay attention to that. So eventually, the meat that was not to be touched had to be removed due to the overwhelming odor that was resonating throughout the house. And because of the English sailor's choice of words, the person who chose to remove that piece of meat had to be put to death and was willingly willing to do so because of their sense of honor in that culture. It had to be done, and he volunteered to move it, and he was killed. So once that happened, the English sailor was distraught. He was just, I mean, for him, it was just a figure of speech. Something you just say, you touch it and you die. I know we use it all the time. We just say things like, man, we say like, man, you're gonna die, and it doesn't really mean anything. Well, he didn't understand how he could allow a man to be killed over something so petty. Like, how could this culture just allow something like this to happen? So he and his interpreter like arguing and going back and forth, and he was trying. I kind of felt bad for him. Like he's trying to wrap his mind around these people and this strange custom, and he yells at her. It meant nothing. It meant nothing. That meat that was not to be touched meant nothing. It meant nothing to him. And that's when the interpreter turns to him and says, your words gave it meaning. That piece of meat meant nothing until his words gave it meaning. And his words gave it power. And in this case, power over someone's life. And when I heard that, and Daniel, I know you're watching it too, so you know what I'm talking about. And when I heard that, whoo, that hit me like a ton of bricks. It's like I was watching that scene and I was just so in it. And you could ask my husband, I was just like, wow. First of all, kudos writers, because it was just it was such great dialogue and a great scene. But it was so impactful because it was true. There's a biblical proverb that says that death and life are in the power of the tongue. And in this Western culture, we're used to using words without thinking about its meaning. Instead, we learn to pay attention to what's behind what people say, right? We think about the tone and inflections and their actions. And we do this to determine if someone is serious or not, because we don't know. We can't tell by their words. And we're even trying to determine whether someone is genuine or real. We have to try to figure it out. It's like coded. But that's not the way it always was. It's true today, as common as it was in ancient world and in other cultures. Words have power, whether we realize it or not. And I want you to type that in the chat. Words have power, because that's what I want to reinforce with you today. Your words, before I move on, go ahead and I'm going to see it in the chat. Words have power, okay? Your words and your language have energy behind them that that shape your financial beliefs, that drive your money behavior, and that shape the world around you. That's what our words, that's what our language create. So I ask you again, What are the words that you use when you talk about your money? When you talk about your current finances or the financial legacy that you want to leave? What are the words that you are using? What is the language you're creating? There is a lot going on in the world today, and I'm not saying to deny the current economic conditions because it's a lot going on out here. We can see, if you're paying attention, you can see that there are aspects of this economy that are not ideal. We're talking about inflation, interest rates, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We can go on, and I'm not going to hone in on all of that. But I, as a financial advisor, of course, Mark and I want you to pay attention. Of course, we have to talk about these things. This is not to be ignored or denied. But this is where self regulation is important and financial intelligence is needed. And last week, those who were with me last week, remember we discussed financial intelligence, right? Who was with me last week? Who remembers our conversation on financial intelligence? Let me know in the chats. It's our ability, for those who weren't with me, financial intelligence is our ability to make responsible, value based decisions around money when we're faced with challenging emotions. Yes, those emotions. And it's so easy to fall prey to our emotions, which is why it takes intentional effort to make sure our emotions are not driving our language and our behavior. Because once it's driving our language, it's going to drive our behavior, right? That's right. I see in the chats. Financial intelligence is important. Thank you, Francesca. Nancy, Sheila, y'all were with me last week. We really went in on this as we were preparing for my financial literacy month. Financial intelligence is the thing that helps us overcome the overwhelming emotions that impact us, that come at us with our finances at times. So, the words that come from your mouth have the power to shape your legacy. Point blank, period. So, this is why I challenge you. No matter what is happening externally, and like I said, there's a lot happening externally. No matter what you are feeling, acknowledge, acknowledge it. Acknowledge that there are financial situations to be addressed. We have to. No burying our heads in the sand. It's there. We have to deal with it. And feel how you feel. Acknowledge how you feel because your feelings are real. Your feelings are important. Your feelings are valid. They tell you what's going on with your body. They show up and tell you what's happening with your body chemistry. Your feelings are important. But let the very next action that you take come from the words that give meaning to the legacy that you are leading. Allow the words that come out of your mouth to guide you as you build your legacy, guide your behavior, not the emotions, not the external factors. You have the power. You have the power to guard your words, to be conscious of your thoughts. You have the power to regulate yourself, to increase your financial intelligence so that you can shape the world that is at peace for you, that speaks abundance, that speaks the direction that you want to go in. Remember, death and life are in the power of your tongue. It's there. So I want you to say these with me, and I want you to type them out as well. So basically, I want you to repeat with me what I'm about to say, and type it in the chat. That way, since I can't actually hear you, when I see it in the chat, I'm hearing you say it. All right. So let's say this together. I am a powerful legacy builder. Say it with me. I am a powerful legacy builder. Next, I want you to say, I am building legacy wealth. See it in the chats. That's right. Drop it in there. I am building legacy wealth. That's right. Say it with your chest, as my husband would say. Say it with your chest. I am making smart, responsible, value-based decisions. That's right. I am making, that's right. What are you making? Smart, responsible, value-based decisions. Those are the kind of decisions you are making about your money. These are the kind of decisions, financial decisions that you're making that are guiding you. So declare who you are, declare what you're doing, and declare how you're doing it. That is the power. And you can repeat these whenever you doubt yourself, whenever fear and worry try to creep up. Always have the words handy. This is why people put affirmations everywhere. I like to refer to it as utility belt. Like Batman had that utility belt around his waist. And whenever he was in a situation, he would just grab whatever tool or device he needed to get him out of trouble. This is how we regulate our emotions. We have to have the words handy. So when the thoughts come into mind that do not serve us, we speak life into our situation, having the words that we need. So keep those handy, continue to declare them. I'm seeing them in the chat. Amen to each one of these. I stand in agreement with each of these. And I want you to remember that in order to make value-based decisions, you have to know your values. Many of you I see here know you have been through the process with me. You have your core values. But if you have not, last week I spoke about it that for the month of April, in recognition of Financial Literacy Month, that I've opened up opportunities to schedule a free values assessment with me for the month of April only. So we'll drop the link in the chat, and I'm encouraging you to go ahead and schedule that values assessment with me. Okay? So be sure to click on the link. I think Mark, Gabrielle, someone will drop it in the chat for me, please, guys, so that if you have not done so already, go ahead and schedule your values assessment. Thank you. I see it drop. There you go. I see adding adding these affirmations index cards I have on my mirror. I love it. I'm seeing the chat in Instagram. See y'all over there. Facebook community, you guys continue to speak life over it. Going into this week, into the today, speak life over your finances and the financial legacy that you are building. Thank you so much for joining me for another tea time. Remember to take advantage of the free values assessment that's going on this month only. And remember this, to always operate with intention as you develop behavior that will build your legacy. I will see you next time for tea time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I love it. I see the chats. I see you, Sheila. Thank you, everyone.